Hello and welcome to the United Hour. I am President Chad, and on the inside with me, we've got Dixie and Fred, Fred God Davids himself, the only
Mm-hmm.
doctor that I trust, Phil,
Mm-hmm.
and Greg B.
What's up?
Now,
What's up?
we have a lot going on in Manchester United land. We actually had other topics that we wanted to talk about today, but when the news of Cristiano Ronaldo being dropped by Ten Hag for the game on the weekend came out, there was nothing we had to do but cover it. That had to be take front and center. So we're going to give Cristiano Ronaldo what Cristiano Ronaldo wants. Attention. So we're going to be start off the show talking about Cristiano Ronaldo today. Who is this we have in the comments? Kes. The Wilson is in the comments. Good afternoon, my brother. So let's bring us with all the news. Yesterday, we all saw Cristiano leaving the stadium. He didn't just leave the field, he left the stadium. He went straight home before the game concluded. Ten Hag was asked about that. He said, I didn't know he left, but we will deal with that tomorrow. Well, tomorrow is today. Now, there are two significant things I want to mention on the side before we get back into the details. And that is that the players did not notice that Cristiano was absent. Right? I think
Yeah.
that's significant. So I just mentioned it. Right? That's just something on the side. So apart from that, so this morning, early o'clock, I heard that Ten Hag and Cristiano and some of the higher ups at United had a meeting. Coming out of that meeting, Cristiano Ronaldo has been dropped for the Chelsea game. Now, he's reportedly, according to The Athletic, he's not just been dropped for the game to say, okay, you're not going to start or you're not going to be on the team sheet. He's also been dropped for preparation for the game. So between now and the end of the weekend, he is going to be training separate from the rest of the team. So it come almost like you get put aside, right? That is your punishment. Go in the naughty corner, right? That is Cristiano Ronaldo punishment for the week. Go in the naughty corner. Ten Hag it also came out today that it wasn't just a matter of Ronaldo leaving the stadium early. During the game, close to the end of the game, Ten Hag asked Ronaldo to go on. He was supposed to be the sub, not Elanga. And Cristiano Ronaldo told Ten Hag, no, I am not going on. So he told the manager he's not going on. And then he proceeded to walk out of the stadium. Right? So that is the news as far as what Ronaldo did and as far as what Ten Hag would have done in terms of the punishment that he laid down. I just want to read the club statement because the club did make an official statement on this matter. I just want to find it and read it quickly here for you all. Right. So the club statement reads, gosh boy. Right. Cristiano Ronaldo will not be part of Manchester United's team for this Saturday's game against Chelsea. The rest of the squad is fully focused on preparing for that fixture. That was it. Right? That was the club statement. And it says enough. And the details that I shared with you all, we got from other reporters afterwards. So let's jump straight into it. Dixie, I want to start off with you. What what are your thoughts on this saga?
Um, I think that behavior was unacceptable. Um, no matter what your personal frustrations are, I think maybe he may have still been a little miffed from having two goals disallowed previous match, or I don't know if he had any other personal concerns. But when your gaffer gives you an order, something like that, I mean, to sub on, I don't care if you're Cristiano Ronaldo. At that point in time, that is when you're needed. So you comply. and then you complain privately if you have, an issue. My thing is, I've always thought, even from when the days of Sir Alex, no one is bigger than the club. None. So that whole situation, I think I want to agree with my gaffer and saying the punishment is justified. Um, Take your ego down, train, learn to be part of a team. Yes, you're a star, but you're a star as part of a team. Individual stars, yes, they shine, but team spirit. How it is in that saga for the younger players looking on? Is that the is that the behavior you want to model for them? And I want to go a step further and say maybe this is where we say not just you're banned from the Chelsea match, but bye, you know, bye.
Indeed, indeed. Good afternoon to Shelvin Sylvester. Um, Kess is saying that he should be fined as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I ain't not lying to tell you. When I paying you $500,000 a week, I looking for any reason to fine you. Yeah? So I agree with that sentiment.
Try that two
I
step.
agree with that sentiment. But I don't know what the contractual details are, so it's not always that easy. Big Phil, talk to me. When you got all that information today, what were your thoughts? Because yesterday we know he left early. We know the manager didn't sanction his leaving, but we didn't have all of this information. We didn't know that he refused to come on. We didn't know that he left the stadium completely. We didn't know all of those things. So, what are your thoughts on the whole saga today?
Yeah, like Sir Alex Ferguson, when wrote his book, he mentioned in his book in 2013 that the minute a Manchester United player thinks that he is bigger than the manager, you gotta go, right? Yesterday's incident reminds me of a reverse scenario for Kepa at Chelsea. Remember when Kepa was goalkeeping at Chelsea and he was asked to be subbed off and Kepa refused to go off? Well, it's kind of the reverse with Ronaldo, right? Now, I don't know if CR realizes it, but us as fans, um, he's tarnishing his legacy slowly but surely, right? This is not the way you want to come back for your second stint at Manchester United and then leave, right? Because at the end of the day, most Man United fans think you're the goat, right? But at the end of the day, in an attribute to be the goat, you must be a leader, right? And the leadership attribute is something that he's not showing right now. And since coming back to Manchester United, obviously we know he's not the same Ronaldo from 2007, 2008, right? But at the end of the day, with the older he gets, he should be at least be mentoring some of these players into becoming better finishers, taking care of their bodies, taking care of their health, etc. But it's not going Ronaldo's way, and we know when it doesn't go Ronaldo's way, it's either his way or the highway, right? And I'm kind of glad that Ten Hag and Manchester United are, communicating together and saying, you know what, I agree with the decision to have Ronaldo not be there for the Chelsea game as well, too, right? So definitely agree with that decision. And CR, as much as you have a lot of fans across the world, your behavior off the pitch is, as Dixie said, unacceptable. Um, it's disgusting, and I think that maybe a change of scenery, possibly in January, will work for you, right? And I'll end it there. Well, not really end it there, but just it's totally off United. But Steven Gerrard just got sacked, so yeah.
Yeah, so the official
Well,
will transfer
I
Villa
was
too.
I was I was going to bring it up, but I was like, that don't really fit in
Yeah,
at
I
the end of
just
my monologue. So,
Segue.
but all right, good. It's all good. So Gerard is out. I must say, I'm a little surprised he got sacked before Lampard, but who knows? The season is still young. Still, Lampard might still be on the way.
true.
Um, Carlton, yes, we mentioned this a little earlier. Carlton, you're coming in a little late. We did, we know that we mentioned that he was supposed to be substituted and he refused. Courtney is saying nobody expects him to be the busy winger, but at least we expect him to be professional,
Facts.
right? Talk to me,
All I can say
Greg.
is this. This is not, remember, this is something similar that he did during the preseason as well too. Everybody remember during that game, I can't remember who it was we were playing. My boy walked off after I think it was like after the second half and just stormed. I think it wasn't just him, it was Dallo and some other players as well too. Ten Hag had an issue with it from all then. So my thing is, if you know that's gonna be an issue for a preseason game, what makes you think that it's gonna be okay for a Premier League match?
All right, Gregby. So on that point, I want to ask you this one time, and we'll switch it in. Is the era of player power that we saw emerge first under, um,
Ed Woodward.
well, yes, Edward Wood, and it really became in our face during Mourinho's time when you had player Paul Pogba and Mourinho clashing, and the person that got rid of first was Mourinho. Would you
Hmm.
say now with Ten Hag and the synergy between him and the administration in terms of Richard Arnold and Murta and these guys that you know he is the manager and player power is now dead at Manchester United?
I wouldn't say it's completely dead just yet, but I would say it's slowly dissipating because I say this because when we look at the situation when Ronaldo was being having his George Mendes actively search for a club while he was basically abandoning preseason for United, we saw that I think it was Joel Glazer vetoed certain moves from him and considered him too much of an asset to the club to lose. So, and at that point in time, you could still see that Cristiano Ronaldo still has a bit of a stroke in that club, in the club to say that, hey, you know what, the owners still value me, so I could get away with it and do what I want. Ten Hag now is coming in and debunking that, and he seems to have the full backing and support of the management and the owners of the club because they realize that what is being built and what Ronaldo is doing is water and oil. Actually, oil and milk. They don't make sense to try and mix it. Cristiano Ronaldo's actions are set. It sets a bad precedent, as Dixie said, because now you have an individual because of his accomplishments. He believes that he should be so entitled that he can go about doing Old Trafford and treating it with whatever wanton disregard. And that is not something that you want to have happen amongst your players. That is not something, attitude and an atmosphere that you want in your dressing room. So, like you said, I am glad that the team is standing behind Ten Hag in this decision because it is an example that needed to be set. He needed to show some professionalism, and it goes back to the whole statement that no player is bigger than the club. If it means that in January that he has to be moved on, then c'est la vie.
Dixie, I want to touch on something that Phil said. That the whole question of Ronaldo tarnishing his legacy. Phil obviously made it clear in his statement that to him he is tarnishing his legacy, right? What are your thoughts? Because there is a thought out there that Ronaldo's legacy is established, and at this stage of his career, there's nothing he could do to tarnish it. There's some, as I heard somebody say today, not that they support his actions, but they were saying, if there's one player that earned the right to be an arrogant ass, is Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Now that is a thought. I'm not saying that's my position, but that is, there are some people out there defending Ronaldo still. After all the information, there are people out there saying, "Oh, he's good." The saying that Ten Hag was disrespectful to him for warming him up at the end of the first half and not subbing him on halftime and all kind of silliness. So there are people out there that are still defending Ronaldo, and they, So for them, his legacy is not tarnished at all. What say you in your mind? If this kind of behavior continues, is it going to tarnish Cristiano's legacy to you?
Yes, it is, because what he has done is insubordination. That in any whether it's any football club and any organization, insubordination does not work well at all. Cristiano Ronaldo's legacy, yes, we know it is intact, but what he is doing coming down to the end of his tenure, when I say tenure, I shouldn't say tenure, coming down to the end of his footballing career, you're leaving you establish yourself as a demigod in terms of in the footballing world. Why now would you want to step off for that? Is it that your ego is too inflated? You can't do that. You want to present yourself as to, hey, I am Cristiano Ronaldo, but hey, listen, we are Manchester United. It goes back to nobody is bigger than the club. Know your role and know your place. And these are things that are not done behind closed doors to say, well, okay, maybe they had maybe they had a fallout, maybe the ego read behind closed doors, and you and the manager could trash it out. It looks badly that it's being aired on the field. I thought it was terrible that he left. I could understand you have an injury or ill or something. But the arrogance of you just walking off behind, and especially at the time when the team was performing so well at that moment, why kill it? Just join in, right? Your services. I honestly did not know that obviously Ten Hag had wanted to sub him on, right? So I thought his services weren't needed at that time. But that piece of information makes it even worse. You refuse to be subbed on. You refuse to take an order.
And we,
Why?
if nobody has mentioned so far, we already going through the season as striker down in Martial. So it's
Thank
not
you.
that you are not aware of what is going on with the team. Yesterday we had such a dominant performance, and all everybody is talking about today is not the great performance of Manchester United, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. It's all about you, and it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like that. Sylvester is saying no, Gregby. He's saying nah, not tarnishing Ronaldo's legacy to him.
Does anybody remember
Well,
the tale of Lance Armstrong?
so I shouldn't say to him. I'm not sure if it's a him or Sylvester is saying it doesn't
Yeah,
tarnish.
Sylvester's a him. Sylvester's a him. I know that
Okay.
person. Yeah. But does anybody remember the tale of Lance Armstrong?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He basically already had retired by the time that scandal had came out. But instances like that, that one thing that came out can tarnish your entire reputation.
It leaves a
This,
lasting impression.
yeah, exactly. And this could be considered the match that burns the bridge with him and the Manchester United fan base. Because, mind you, he's become a bit of a polarizing figure in this regard because people are finding that disrespectful. But yet, when I watched the match in real time, when I was watching it with Raul and them yesterday, I still heard people singing Viva Ronaldo in the stands. So, in
People
spite
were
of
singing Viva Ronaldo throughout the game a few times. And that
true,
to me is even worse because you disrespected the fans. We winning the game at home. It's not away.
yeah,
And even if it was away, you stay back and you celebrate with the fans. You
yeah,
bust out.
this is a fan base that has endeared themselves to you since you were 19 years old. For you to go and do something like that, even though you're in the twilight of your career, and you may feel like, you know what, the hell, what everybody else thinks. No, I've done enough in my life. You still have to understand that people are looking up to you. People consider you as one of, if not the greatest goal scorer of all time, and probably not the, if not one of, if not the greatest players of all time. And other people from different fan bases will say, "Oh, we're disrespecting him," and I was like, "Why we didn't let him go?" I'm like, "We tried to sell him to Bayern, we tried to sell him to Chelsea, we tried to sell him to Sporting Lisbon. There was a club
Yeah.
in Saudi Arabia that
The
were willing to
only
give him,
club that came for him was
yeah,
a club in Saudi Arabia.
200 million they were offering.
And he
Joel
didn't
Glazer
want to go.
vetoed that.
Well, he didn't want to go as well because
Exactly.
it
So
is a
so
club in Saudi Arabia. You're going
yeah,
to pass if you go
it's
to
not a
Saudi
Champions
Arabia.
League team.
Correct.
And that just goes to show you where his mind is. Granted, I get it. The man is called Mr. Champions League for a reason. But at the same time, respect the surroundings that you're in right now. Yes, it's not what you want to be, but it does not mean. All right, thank you for the update on the quantity, Carlton. Uh, oh my goodness. Yeah. So going back to my original point, don't do things like this to upset an entire fan base of people who knew you from your development period to you becoming the player that you are today. Because a lot of us will say that we saw you in the genesis of becoming the man that you are.
Yeah, back in the
Everybody
day,
remembers that debut in 2003. Everybody
back in
remembers
the
that
days of
fateful
Purple
day.
Teeth
Yeah, with braces and the
and the
pimple filled
wild
face and the macaroni
and
streaks in the
think
head.
here and all that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the baggy jersey like mine, like how I have on here right now. It's I mean, come on. Everybody holds those memories of you dear to them. And for you to do something like that, it's disrespectful on various levels. Because now people who are Manchester United fans, probably because of you, their image of you is tarnished. These things can have long lasting effects, and people fail to realize that.
I will say this. As a United supporter, I think he's endangering his legacy to United supporters.
Correct.
I really don't think Real Madrid supporters care.
No.
I don't think the Ronaldo supporters, because Ronaldo have Ronaldo supporters. There are people who are not
Exactly.
even into football,
Yeah,
but they
they just
are
support Cristiano
fans
Ronaldo. Yeah.
of Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think this affects that fan base. But Cristiano Ronaldo has to understand that the reason he is as popular as he is, the reason that he is above Messi in popularity is because of this close to 1 billion strong fan base. If you
Hmm.
take United supporters out of the
It
pool
dwindles.
that support Cristiano Ronaldo, yes, he will still be extremely popular. But Messi might just have started edging him out. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying?
It
This
would start
fan
to dwindle
base
significantly.
is one of the main reasons why you are where you are today. And you cannot be disrespectful to the fan base. Right? Even if you want to leave and whatever, no problem. But you can do whatever you had to do behind the scenes. You cannot be disrespectful to the fan base. These people singing your name. Look at the contrast. You have Martinez talking about, oh, he was feeling to cry when they were chanting about Argentina, and people singing your name, and you walk out like, nah, yeah, well,
Look,
I
look at
don't
the
want to
level
play.
in what's going on there, because they're just singing about Martinez, the country that he's from. He's not the only Argentine player to play for Manchester United.
And that's
Ronaldo
probably
literally
because
has a chant dedicated to him.
he don't have a chance as yet. They were singing Argentina because we don't have a chance for Martinez
Of course,
as yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sure we're working on it. So he gonna have his own
there
chance.
there is a chant for Martinez. I don't know exactly, but it involves Arsenal looking to buy him, and then he chose us over them. I can't remember the
Okay, well,
exact command
I didn't
also.
know. I didn't know. Thanks for that
Yeah,
update. I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
But as to Greg's point, you know what I'm saying? It's just the contrast is ridiculous.
It,
the
it,
I
best
it,
wanna I
it,
way
wanna I
I was
wanna
say,
read now. Cristiano Ronaldo has responded. I initially had the thumbnail saying the ticker saying, what would Cristiano Ronaldo's response be, to ask you all hypothetically what you all thought? Well, we don't need to wonder what Cristiano Ronaldo's response would be because he has responded. Let me just read his comments quick. Jeffrey, good afternoon to you. Martin Phillip is saying Ronaldo is a great player in decline. I am glad he has a manager like Ten Hag. Just imagine for 1 minute if it was a manager of lesser being the club would now be a total disarray. Yeah, correct. I think it was Carlton mentioned earlier that the problems he was causing in the dressing room last season. If imagine you in decline and you have a manager that don't have the balls to stand up to you, we would be playing Ronaldo and to the detriment of the team.
mhm.
So real. Yeah, so let me read Cristiano Ronaldo's statement that he released on all his social media, IG,
That statement
Twitter.
real long. That statement real long though. Just let's
Yeah,
then
yeah. Bear with me,
It's,
people.
it's
It is
lengthy.
very long.
it long.
It is very long. So, but I need you all to listen carefully, especially to the last two sections. As I have always done throughout my career, I try to live and play respectively towards my colleagues, my adversaries, and my coaches. That hasn't changed. I haven't changed. I'm the same person and the same professional that I've been for the last 20 years. Pause. The same spoiled brat, most definitely. But professional, I ain't sure about that. But anyway, moving on. Um, right, 20 years playing elite football, and respect has always played a very important role in my decision making process. Now, to me, if respect is you are saying that respect has always played a role in your decision making process, then and your actions was not respectful to the fans, to the club, or to the manager, to me that is a dig, eh? That's a dig saying I felt disrespected, right? You didn't respect me, so I am justified in my actions. Second part of this statement. I started very young, and the older and more experienced players' examples were always very important to me. Therefore, later on, I have also tried to set examples myself for the youngsters that grew in all the teams that I have represented. Unfortunately, that's not always possible, and sometimes the heat of the moment gets the better of us. That songs like you're trying to, say, I was upset, I was emotional, and that is why it happened. So okay, that song ain't too bad. The last part of his statement. Right now, I just feel that I have to keep working hard in Carrington, support my teammates, be ready for anything that comes that is in any given game. Giving in all the pressure is not an option. Giving in so the pressure is not an option. It never was. This is Manchester United, and united we must stand. Soon we'll be together again. Now, this is being advertised as Cristiano Ronaldo's apology. I didn't hear any apology inside of there. Did any of you hear an apology in there?
That
I heard
sounded more like
ego.
justification more than anything else.
That's ego.
Well, you see, Ronaldo is surrounded by his own nutritionist, his own fitness coach, his own personal assistant, but he's also surrounded by his own PR staff. Why would Ronaldo write that himself? That's his PR staff writing that for himself. At the end of the day, Ronaldo isn't going to take to Instagram and post that sort of stuff. That is all and purely a PR stunt, right?
It is,
Yeah, but
but
Phil, and I want you to respond to this. Your PR people send you this message and say, "Hey, we posting this." You read that message. You may have made a couple edits, right? We don't know what the original message was. And you tell them, yeah, go ahead, post that. So again, what does that say? Right? Because even if he didn't write it, he definitely would have sanctioned it. And nowhere inside of there does it say, I apologize to the fans, I apologize to the coach. He doesn't even say I apologize. You know, some people just give an apology and it's a watered down, I apologize, and they don't specify. Nothing like that. You know, I don't understand.
Um,
He'll be back. He'll be with us soon again, Phil. You know, I don't know what I'm supposed to be. He'll be with us soon.
Ten Hag said that was a lie.
no, here's the thing, right? If and I can see it perfectly. If the PR team had to send that message to Ronaldo over WhatsApp, Ronaldo gonna look at the message, hold on the message, and select the thumb, and good to go. That's how he will react to the message, right? Now, like you guys alluded to, it doesn't sound like an apology. It just sounds like he acknowledged what he did yesterday,
He had
but
to say something.
he sprinkled a little bit of ego in it as well too. right? I've been playing elite football for the last 20 years, right? So there's
And
some sort of acknowledgement as to the occurrence of me walking off the pitch yesterday. But then let me throw in a little bit of ego. Let me throw in a little bit of CR7. Let me throw in a little bit of this is the guy who does modeling contracts for underwear and all that BS, right? So that's what it is, and that's what I saw in that statement yesterday, right? So for the younger generation, they probably will see that as an apology and saying, "Mommy, Daddy, like this is the apology for Ronaldo. Can we go and see Ronaldo play again?" The older generation or the more mature generation who've been following Ronaldo from the time he was at United in his first stint, they already know for sure that yeah, we can go and see Ronaldo again. But when the kid's gone to sleep, it's like, you know what, this is a BS excuse. That's all I can
exactly,
say.
exactly. You're
But
looking at
it's
that. Go
sorry,
ahead, Dixie. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dixie.
it's important for Ronaldo, for CR7 himself to realize that he, the Ronaldo we have now, is not the Ronaldo of 10 years ago. So I would not even call him an elite athlete anymore. He was, and that's how he built his legacy. But come on, you're declining in age. Yes, he's still very fit, but the kind of performances we know that Cristiano Ronaldo can deliver, he has just not been delivering it. And he himself has to take stock of where he is. Now, when he opened, as you said, Chad, he opened the statement talking about respect. That was so ironic when you blatantly disrespected your teammates, your coach, the fans, and your football club, or the very people who have employed you, who are paying you, right? That is disrespect.
Correct. Greg
I,
B,
yeah.
I wanna ask this. I wanna ask by asking you this, and we'll go around, and then we'll shut down this Ronaldo topic. How does this saga end? And I don't just mean the saga of yesterday. I mean the Ronaldo saga. In your mind, how does this end? Because I think Phil mentioned exit in January. I think Dixie mentioned exit in January. Do you think? Because do you think that's how it was going to end?
It could be that, or it could be a situation that Ten Hag is probably gonna monitor what he does, and if he still seems to show that same kind of flagrant idea of that, he can do whatever he wants, then this will not be the last time that he's forced to sit out games because of his attitude.
Let me ask you a follow up on that. Right, Ronaldo is not in a position of strength here.
No, he's not.
He does not press like Martial and Rashford. The team stats came out recently. The entire team runs less when Ronaldo is on the pitch, right? We have games with him playing versus the games when he's not playing. The team performs better statistically when he's not on the pitch. You are not in a position of strength. You scored a penalty and a one break, right? You have missed over 80% of your chances.
Only?
I said over 80%. I didn't know the exact figure, but I know it's closer to
Yeah,
90,
over 80% is about right. Yeah.
right? So you have missed over 80% of the chances created for you. And you have had the most chances of any United player so far for the season. So you are not in a position of strength. What does he think he could, why does he think he could push the club and make life
because
difficult for
because
Ten
his
Hag?
name is Cristiano Ronaldo. He believes
Because
that his
really and truly,
weight.
it's Ten Hag who could make life difficult for him. Ten Hag don't
Exactly.
need to pick him again between now and the World Cup,
He no, Chad. He believes that his name holds so much weight that heaven and earth will stop moving.
Yeah, on, on
That's to
on
tell
his
you how much.
hotels,
That's to tell you how
not
much
on
his
Manchester
ego
United.
is inflated. Yeah? His ego is so inflated. It's probably more inflated than the debt that the club has. I just look at it from the aspect of, bro, you're still a football player in this club. Doing something like what you did, any other player would basically be ostracized and completely exiled from the team. What makes you any different? And like you said, the statistics don't help his case either. It's not like it's a player that was scoring he just got a hat trick in the last game and he was on the bench for this game and he vexed and he saw. If it was something like that, I probably could understand maybe why he's a bit upset because he probably felt like, okay, you know what, I could have probably scored. But you have only 2 goals in all competitions. We played how many games? What, 12?
Too many. Yes.
Yeah, what 12 or 13? Yeah.
Bro, your conversion rate is atrocious. You need to relax. Ten Hag is picking players based on their performances. You earn your spot, you keep your spot. If you're not doing anything to keep your spot, sit down. Or in
And,
your case,
and,
either sit down or get out.
and that is exactly my point, Dixie, that you're not in a position of strength at all. Dixie, I wanna ask you the same question in terms of where you think this ends, but I also want you to respond to Martin Phillip, who is asking, could someone on the panel tell me if something like this would happen again? So
Wouldn't happen again.
Wouldn't happen again.
Like
yeah,
The Ronaldo situation.
yeah,
Let me respond to that first.
yes.
Okay. That can happen again with any player who develops an ego complex or an attitude, right? Um, Hopefully, it doesn't. But what is the key here is that we have a manager who's willing to deal with it differently. Because if this had happened, let's say, if yesterday's walkout had happened, let's say, under Ole, I love Ole, but I can't see Ole would have taken the steps that Ten Hag took, right? And I fully support Ten Hag in the way he's dealing with it. And where do I see Ronaldo? If he isn't shown the door of the club by January, definitely by the end of the season, because I cannot see any contracts being renewed with Cristiano Ronaldo, and I don't think the attitude warrants another contract, an extension of a contract. I'm actually looking at January window, um, hoping January window, unless there's a real turnaround, a miraculous pick up in
Reconciliation of some sort.
form, a change in attitude. But barring that, I'm thinking January. Bye bye.
Big Phil, my concern, I think Ten Hag is ready and has been ready for a while to let Ronaldo go. Right? Ronaldo was here because we didn't get a striker. We were short a man, and then we'll see if Martial got injured. But when on top of those things, the coach realized this fella not doing it, you know. So my concern is if nobody comes in for Ronaldo in January, what do you think is going to happen? Are we just going to keep him until the end of the season? Or do you think the club should do the extreme thing of canceling his contract? I don't think we should cancel his contract because we shouldn't pay him a dime. If it's a mutual consent, if he comes and he wants to cancel his contract and we don't have to pay, buy it out, no problem. But I wouldn't want to cancel Ronaldo's contract and give him millions of dollars to leave. That's just me. But what says because there's a genuine possibility that no Champions League or no big club comes in for Ronaldo. If he has a horrible World Cup, I don't think anybody's going to come for him in January.
Hmm.
Um, yes, it's a loaded question. With regards to the statement that I made about 20 minutes ago, maybe a loan in January will suffice. Um, yeah, with regards to any club that let's take January for example. If a club says I want Ronaldo, but United you have to pay 100% of the wages, right? Now, obviously, that's just hypothetical, right? Because more than likely, United would negotiate and say, well, we pay 75% or 80% of the wages, and the other club who's looking to have him on loan pay the remainder, right? That's more of an ideal situation. Um, it's more likely leaning towards next year's summer where Ronaldo will be offloaded. But you did make a point with regards to maybe Ronaldo looking to release himself by buying out his contract. And that is also an option. And that is probably what I would exercise. I would say, yo, you want to leave this club so badly? Buy us out of your contract, right? And one thing you gotta realize is that these things aren't being kept in house. The entire world is seeing this. Doesn't matter if you live in England, France, Italy, Spain, USA, Canada. The question is
It's not a good look.
When Ronaldo leaves Manchester United, who is going to want you? What manager is going to want to work with you based on the attitude you've been portraying from charges of assault, slapping, or knocking the guy's phone out of his hand, and then also walking off yesterday? It doesn't help you,
Mind you,
right?
the person who started out as a disabled child. So
I mean,
more
I,
bad PR to his name.
I mean, the best way to describe what Ronaldo is going through is basically you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain, right? And
I was
that's
gonna say midlife crisis, but yeah.
nah. He based on what he's been going through for the last year or so. Right now, Ronaldo is looking at himself in the mirror and saying, "You know what? I'm the villain." Right. So yeah, is January going to happen? I would like it to happen so that it's a win-win for both parties, Manchester United and Ronaldo. I'm sure there is some team that's going to qualify from the Champions League to the round of 16 that may say, you know what, let's take a risk on Ronaldo. We'll have the whole bench, but let's take a risk, right?
I
So
I I am so hoping that Ronaldo scores like 6 goals in the World Cup. Serious. Because if he performs in the World Cup, somebody will come for him. You understand? Somebody that he would be willing to go to will come for him. I so want Ronaldo to perform in the World Cup, not because I'm a Ronaldo fan, which I am, but just because I just want the man to bust out. And I know if he performs in the World Cup, somebody will come for him. Somebody will come for him. Um, yes, we
Really
know
matter.
that we know that which perception, and we know that that's one of the stuff he would have been dealing with. Ronaldo's jersey has generated over 200 million in sales since his return, and and what Carlton is saying that as long as the Glazers see money to be made from Ronaldo, they would not be interested. But I suspect Ronaldo's jersey sales would be taking a severe dip after these events. So let's move on to on the record. Eric Ten Hag has beaten Klopp, Arteta, and Conte. My question is simply this: Will, looking at the trajectory that the club is on, looking at the performances, looking at the people that he has beaten, will United finish top three this season? Yes or no? It's on the record, so you have to give me a definite answer. Let's start with Greg B on the bottom there.
I would like nothing more than for that to happen, but I'm gonna say no as of this season because I don't know if the squad is really together as Ten Hag needs it to be just yet. So they'll make it. They'll make it close. They'll make it very close.
What's close to third, fourth, fifth?
Well, yeah, but probably fourth by maybe goal difference or a point off.
All right, fair enough. On the record, that's a solid answer. Talk to me, Dixie. Will Manchester United finish in the top three?
Top three, honestly, it hurts me to say this, but I don't think so. I'm going with Greg's answer to say a close fourth. If we finish, I mean, I'm hoping my team could prove me wrong, but I just don't see the top three happening at all. Injuries, lack of consistency, Ronaldo, and I, I don't see. I'm not seeing one, two, or
Like how you put
three.
that.
I'm not seeing one, two, or three.
All right.
I'm
Fair
not
enough.
even seeing. I'm not seeing fifth. So I think we warming up Arsenal's favorite position, and we saying fourth.
Hmm. As long as they don't win, I
All
don't
right.
care.
Okay. Talk to me, Phil. Will United finish in the top three this season?
I gonna take a different approach to this here. We will finish in the top three if Marcus Rashford can finish his chances, and that's how I will put it. If Marcus Rashford can't finish his chances, like at the end of the day, injuries happen. So we know Varane. I won't put Varane in the injury prone category as yet because Varane has been fit this season. He only went off versus Manchester City, but
And we saw his ankle twist with stopping the shot.
yeah, yeah. I will put Tony Martial definitely in the injury prone category, and then
Everybody have you there
obviously
already.
yeah, and then Tony Martial being injured with either his back or leg, Ronaldo being injured with his mentality and attitude. So couple of things. We will finish in the top three. Like I said, if Marcus Rashford can finish his chances when he's given them. If we do get a striker in January, whether it be like a Ivan Tony or some, I could be Jonathan David, one of these strikers who can put away their chances, then we have a chance at top three, right? I definitely would like us to finish above Arsenal, and I will be laughing. I'll be laughing a lot. But as it looks right now, we'll finish outside of the top three, right? That's the approach I'll take.
So Rosemary is saying that he will never, I'm assuming it is Ten Hag, finish um in the top three with what he did to Ronaldo. It's so shameful for Ronaldo. As I said, there are a lot of different perspectives out there, and there are some people that are on the side of Ronaldo. Um,
Rosemary needs to watch that game over.
uh, man, Martin Philip is saying United will do better than Arsenal.
Martin, you have a job to do. You have a job to do. That's all I have to tell you. You have a job to do.
Um, on the record for myself, answering the same question, I picked, and Greg B would know this because I think he interviewed me when we had a preseason event at 63.
Yeah, I
And
remember
one
that.
of the questions I asked everybody at that time was, what are the expectations for the season? And I said, this is before any games were played. It was still preseason. I said, I expect Manchester United to finish in the top three. I expect us to make some kind of to be in the mix, right? And I'm not. I haven't seen anything to make me change my mind.
And he said
And
it
I
with
will
the
just.
same straight face in 63. Yeah, he didn't have any alcohol in the system, anything at the time. So yeah, he's keeping to that.
I will just say this. This season reminds me a lot of the season Leicester won. Everybody was just falling short. If we are honest, Liverpool is underperforming. Spurs, yes, they have gotten results, but Spurs hasn't looked anywhere as dominant as they looked last season.
Hmm.
Chelsea have a new coach; he's still finding his foot, and they haven't even gotten a new manager bounce. So we don't know if what we see at Chelsea now is what is going to remain. Right? We don't know if Potter is really going to be able to make the transition from mid-table coach to upper-level coach. Arsenal is overperforming the same way that Leicester overperformed that season. The reason Leicester won was because the team that was supposed to win, Spurs, underperformed. Everybody else, we were underperforming that season. Liverpool was underperforming. Arsenal was underperforming. The team that was closest to Leicester was Spurs. That was supposed to be Spurs here. That was supposed to be Spurs' title. And they messed it up. So I look at this season and I'm saying, but wait. Here is Arsenal doing what Leicester did. And here is Manchester City. So far, it's early days still, in that Spurs role, right? The team that's supposed to win, but it's up to them if they win or not. It's
Mhm.
all on City if they win or not. And to me, as long as everybody else, as long as us, Spurs, as long as Chelsea, as long as Liverpool are underperforming, I don't see why we can't finish in the top three. I really just can't wrap my mind around. I would be at this stage, I would be disappointed if we don't finish in the top three. That's where I'm at. You know what I mean? I would be disappointed. But we'll see how it goes. It's on the record. So we will be playing this tape back at the end of the season. I know none of you all would be upset if you all are wrong.
Of course not.
And we finish in the top three.
No,
Nobody will
I
be
would
back.
say I won't be disappointed if we don't finish in the top three, but I will be a tad bit disappointed if we don't get a Champions League spot.
Fair.
Agreed. All right, so let's look to shut it down with that segment, the top shutter and boo boo man. Now, what is that for anybody who does not know? That the top shutter is that player, team, sports personality, usually around football, but it doesn't have to be around football, that is having an absolutely wonderful week. That is your top shutter, right? Your boo boo man is that person, team, group person that is just having a horrible week. Nothing,
Well, I
they
think
just
it's unanimous who's everybody's boo man for this week.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
about that. I'm not sure about that. But let's get into it and see. Who wants to go first today?
Ladies first.
All right. So Dixie, who's your top shutter and who's your boo boo man this week?
Actually, top shutter. I don't have one, I have quite a few. But
Okay, well, call all the list.
I'm going to start with the one whom I really admire, my gaffer, Ten Hag, for obvious reasons, right? Casemiro, Martinez, my 2 goal scorers yesterday, and non-United related, Sadio Mane and Karim Benzema for their respective awards.
First.
That a lot went on this week, Ballon d'Or. So people have a lot to choose from. Excuse, as far as top shutter, people have a lot to choose from. And who's your boo boo man for this week?
CR7 and the West Indies.
Oh, wow. How I know West Indies is going to get trained that? How?
Yeah, man.
Go up, Dixie.
Oh my gosh, no.
And there's the reason I don't like going second or third, because I just come prepared with about 3 or 4 boo boo men and 3 or 4 top shotters, and all 3 of them get called for both.
Wow.
It's kind of tough.
don't like going
West
second or third,
Indies
you know.
and a Manchester United supporter, always have all days, man. Nah.
Yeah.
I like Carlton for something different. Carlton is saying his boo boo man is Mbappe.
And that was part of my boo boo man as well. My 3 boo boo men were West Indies, Mbappe, and Cristiano Ronaldo, and all 3 get calls. So I mean,
So you gotta start
sense?
putting out. You gotta start putting out disclaimers for whenever you're going and call your names for your women and your top shotters, though. Because Lord,
Well,
you can't win, boy.
I learned about 2 or 3 months ago. Come prepared to this program not with 1, but 2 or 3 top shotter or boo boo men, and all 3 get called already. So
Wow. Hey, well, I mean, you're in line with great minds think alike. What you gonna do? I mean,
True that. But go ahead, Phil. You could call them back,
well, my boo boo man is Steven Gerrard. So
Yeah.
now that I turn towards Twitter, I see Steven Gerrard. Obviously, we mentioned Gerrard got sacked, but no, Steven Gerrard definitely is my boo boo man. And I could go a bit more detail in my top shotter because this guy had to see the likes of Luka Modric and Cristiano Ronaldo lift Ballon d'Or year after year. Well, for Ronaldo, obviously year after year. For Modric, after the Euros, right? But his time finally came, and that is one of Karim Benzema, right? His time finally came, and he's the oldest Ballon d'Or winner at the age of 34, right? So finally,
know.
Karim Benzema has been given his flowers, and he totally deserves it, right?
So wait. Sorry to interrupt. But when Luka Modric won it, how old was he?
Younger than 38.
How old Luka Modric is right now?
I think he's 37.
Really?
37 or 38.
And he won.
So he probably won it at 32 then, somewhere around there.
Either 32 or 33, yeah.
All right, well, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, but Benzema definitely is my top shot of the week. He also gets a slight how to put it? I don't want to say his praise, but he was able to bring his baby mama and his girlfriend to the exact same award. And both of them were like, you know what? I am the ultimate prize. You're watching your prize get the ultimate prize in football. That's how I can say it. So yeah.
Carlton is saying his top shutter is Klopp because he had a plan to stop Haaland. So let's
Wow.
welcome to the stream. I really shouldn't welcome him at this late stage. The man, Bradley.
What's
Uh,
going on, bro?
talk
What's
talk
up?
about his,
Long time. How you guys going?
It's
talk
good
about
seeing you,
his.
bro.
Welcome, afternoon.
But
Yes, yes.
talk to me, Greg. Who's your top shutter and boo boo man of the week?
I'm gonna say it like I said yesterday. Apologize to that man. Fred is
Fred,
my top shot of the week. Hey, put some respect on the pastor's name because at the end of the day, man he was getting old talk or so that whole time because like, oh, he can't shoot. Anybody see the video of expressions, the Tottenham supporter, and he's like, oh, Fred can't shoot. As he says the
We just had a big up Pastor Fred. You
again,
can't let that slide.
Hallelujah, hallelujah.
again, apologize to that. Apologize to that man. That's all
And
I have to say.
who's your boo boo for the week?
Well, I mean, hey, didn't I say it from the get go? Cristiano Ronaldo dos Santos Aveiro. He needed to get his full government name called.
Shame. Shame.
So that's
He needed to get his full government name called out for that because no, sir, you're on crap.
that's what we have for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Thank you.
Even though Bradley is late, he's gonna get in on the mix. But let me give mine. My boo boo man for this week is Jamie Carragher, one of many people
The boo-boo man for the year.
in the biased media of the UK that love to run them out and say things about people and players. And then when they are proven wrong, they don't even come back and say, you know what? I was wrong about that guy. Jamie Carragher said multiple times at the beginning of the season that Lisandro Martinez would be a failure, an abject failure. He can't play in the Premier League. He too short. He too this. He too that. He probably even say he was Argentinian and all. Him being English. He probably had a problem with that and all. For all I know. Now that he has shut down England's number one and has had multiple good performances, what we hearing from Carragher? Crickets.
Silence.
You understand? He is my boo-boo. And my top shutter for this week, and there were so many, but I decided that I would go with a United is the gaffer himself, Ten Hag. I think one of the things I always loved about Sir Alex Ferguson was he let you know who had the biggest balls at Manchester United, and it was the manager. You understand? I had the biggest balls. It's me. It doesn't matter, and I always tell people, because I know there are a lot of people, the way he dealt with the York in the end rub a lot of people the wrong way. And I always tell people it didn't matter. He did it with Ruud van Nistelrooy, at the time the best goal scorer at Manchester United. This wasn't a guy on the decline. This was a guy that was putting in goals but you're out.
The most
He did it
lethal
with
goal
David
scorer in the
Beckham
game's history.
at the time, not just the most popular player at the club, but the most popular English player in the world. And so to
Roy
me,
Keane.
Sir Alex Ferguson was consistent. You understand? And he didn't mix matters. You play the fool, you're out the door.
Done.
You disrespect the club, you disrespect me, out the door. The only reason Rooney didn't get the same treatment when the whole rumors with him going to City was because he and Rooney obviously was doing something behind the scenes. Because if it was genuine that Rooney was flirting with City, Rooney would have been out the door too. Right? So Alex don't play. And it is good to see a manager that is saying, yeah, what's going on. As long as I manage this club, the person with the biggest balls in this dressing room is me. You feel your balls too big. Don't even come to training. Don't even train with the youths. I don't want you to infect nobody else.
Train by yourself.
By yourself. And I appreciate that. So Ten Hag is my top shutter and Jamie Carragher is my boo-boo. Bradley,
Yes,
talk to
sir.
me. Who's your top shutter this week? And who's your boo-boo for the week?
Good evening again to the full panel. Long time I haven't seen some of you guys. Compliments of the night.
Wait a minute, man.
A man say Carragher worse than Souness, yes. You gotta be real bad to be worse than Souness.
And that's pretty. And that
So
and
this
that
is real
that's
putting
pretty bad.
in this mode, boy.
Carragher ain't worse than Souness. Souness has memes about him and all that, so
But
he
if I
ain't
say
get
you
to that
gotta be
level yet.
real bad to be
Yeah, he
worse
ain't
than
that bad
Souness.
yet.
So this is a special one. Anyway, go ahead, Bradley.
Oh God, the biggest boo had to be Sarah Savon, as a senior, as a legend of the club. He didn't lead by example, and it looked bad at Old
Play it again,
Trafford.
Chad. Play it
Come
again.
on. It's again, that's the biggest boo boo.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
And boy, I had to big up Bruno Fernandez. And in a separate podcast, I want to bring up this. I have a young lady called Melina from the UK. When you talk about fantasy football, they're like, Bruno might be a good shout. And she's like, Bruno? What Bruno is this? The only Bruno I know is Bruno from Newcastle. So I know she's not watching this show, but I'll let her know and remind her. I sit on top of the table, but when you accumulate the starters, Jaka, Martinelli, and Saka, Bruno have better statistics than those three gentlemen.
This
Are crazy.
Melina's an Arsenal fan, right?
Yeah,
Apparently.
she
So
flying right now.
I know her because she actually lives in Toronto with me. So yeah,
Oh wow.
Oh, you know Melina,
yeah,
lovely.
I know her. Yeah.
Yeah. So she needs to cool it. There is another Bruno in the Premier League, and that is my top shutter.
And
Yeah,
remind
yeah,
me,
yeah.
this same Bruno Guimaraes they're talking about from Newcastle, when he came to Old Trafford, what did he do exactly?
Nothing. Not
Well,
a
because
Nah,
thing.
he didn't get a chance to do. Right
I'll leave it
now,
there. I'll
right
leave
now,
it.
Bruno looking
The
real.
jury is still out on Bruno Fernandez, but that's another discussion for another
Your
time.
jury, Phil. Your jury. Be specific.
Nah, Bruno have to show that he is consistently back to the old Bruno. This one game. This one game.
Yeah.
I would love it if he is back to the Bruno that was here the first 9 months when he
Oh,
first came. But until I see more of him, let me tell you something. I believe in Bruno, Greg. I had Bruno in my fantasy team. I had Bruno in my fantasy team to start the season, and what did he do? Poop on himself and make me drop points. So until he is fantasy team worthy again,
hmm.
we
He
gave
was in my team this week, though.
Bruno had a hold on.
Oh, you bring back Bruno, you can see the future.
But all right, guys. So remember, like, subscribe, share. Next game is Saturday at 12:30. We are playing Chelsea. And based on our present performance, I think everybody should be excited to get on their Manchester United gears and get out of your house. There's no reason for you to think, no, I want to be home. No, you don't want to be home. You want to be out with other Manchester United supporters so we could whine on Chelsea. You understand? Let's go and knock down that bridge in London. So, MUSC Man United supporters Caribbean, we are going to be at 63 Lounge on the Avenue. And the man Bradley here is doing some promotions with Amplia. So tell us what
Alright.
Amplia is doing for that game on Saturday, Bradley.
So we had a prediction, and it was actually for the City Liverpool game, and no one believed that Liverpool would win that game. So all the prizes roll over. So what I'm gonna do is I may be in 63, or I may show up in another bar that has all the supporters, and I have prizes from Castrol and Amplia. And if you predict the score correctly, yeah, you'll walk away with one of those bad boys. So I think I will either pop up in 63 or the next bar, McAl's.
No. 63 and as where you all doing Island Bar.
Oh, vibes. Well,
Yeah,
so 63 or Island there.
Mikel's under new management. So we're not going to
Okay.
be doing anything in South until we get a new bar in
Oh,
South.
Well, lovely.
That's
Well,
nice.
it's closer to home, so I will be there and I'll walk with some goodies.
Right.
So
So people
predict the score.
put on your predictive thought cap on. I mean, I people in here who are in groups I am in, I predicted that Manchester United was going to win 2-0 let's hope that my prediction on Saturday is also going to be right, because it is going to be a Manchester United victory that I'm going to predict. Let's talk a little bit about the ladies' team before we conclude. Manchester United are facing Leicester City women this Sunday, and if you pay attention to our Facebook page, you will, and our other social media, you will see the scores and the information, the team lineups, and all of those stuff for the ladies. Manchester ladies are on the top of the table, and we are doing very, very well. So let's give the ladies a round of applause.
Well done,
And
girls.
so yeah, so we definitely looking out for having 2 wins this weekend. We're gonna whine on Chelsea, and the ladies gonna whine on Leicester. Let's just make their misery even worse. And again, I'm just surprised, boy. Gerard get the boot before
Lampard.
Rogers. I mean,
Oh, Rogers.
Lampard.
Lampard.
Rogers and Lampard. Remember Leicester bottom
Rogers,
of the league, eh?
Rogers still,
Leicester
Rogers still,
one win,
Leicester
no.
manager.
The Leicester manager is
Rogers
Rogers.
is wow.
And the Leicester on the bottom of the league, they have 1 win.
Wow.
So
Rod-
I mean,
Rod-
Gerard,
Rogers got the boot?
Yeah,
no,
Gerard.
he
Yeah,
didn't get
Gerard's
the
gone.
goal. What I'm saying is
part
that-
you guys living?
what I'm saying is that Gerard has gotten sacked before Lampard and before Rogers. I would have thought that those guys would have gotten the sack before him, but
I think
Who
Leicester
am I?
won today. Leicester won today, didn't they? I think they beat Leeds 2-0.
They did.
Yeah, they won. Yeah.
They-
hey, they actually get a second win for the season. Well, all right, okay. Carlton is making his prediction from now. I like this prediction from Carlton for one.
I was gonna say 4-0, but
Well, for whatever reason, the Chelsea faithful seem to have reignited their belief in Kepa. I would love for us to throw water on that fire. If it's one game
Three
that
times,
Rashford
3 times.
need to get a hat trick, it's Saturday. Let's show some water on that fire. I prefer Mindy. I like to see Mindy keeping for Chelsea. I don't love for Kepa. Let me hit a 4. We could live it for.
Sancho
Any short closing remarks? Let's start with the lady first.
The only thing I'd like to say is what you just said about Chelsea. I actually have a prediction. I want 3 goals against Chelsea. 3-0 would be good for me. I would like Rashford to be amongst the scorers, and I'm looking forward to a solid game by Martinez.
All right. Big Phil.
Yeah. With regards to yesterday's match versus Spurs, that was probably one of the most exciting, entertaining, disciplined games that I've seen from a United starting 11 in the last probably 3 to 5 seasons. Right. My main question is, can we continue this for the rest of the season? Right now, don't get me wrong. Conte always sets up his team to be low block teams, right? And Conte did play into our trap, right? But let's continue this momentum and form versus Harry Potter this weekend. And my score prediction will. I'm thinking of 3-love as well too, right? I really hope Marcus Rashford can get at least 1 goal and take his chances, right? Because Kepa is there for the taking, right? I got more faith in Mendy than Kepa if it was a Chelsea fan, right? But at the end of the day, Stamford Bridge is not an easy place to go and win, but I got confident that we can win maybe 2 or 3-love. Hopefully it's 3-love. So yeah.
All right. Greg B.
I'm just hoping that Sancho has Jorginho feeling like the weekend again, blinded by the lights, and gets another goal past him. So and I'm also hoping that I want to predict this, but I'm gonna keep this on the low. I want Casemiro to break his duck at Stamford Bridge, put a screamer past Kepa. 4-0 United.
I mean, it was a deflected goal, but if I was Casemiro, I'd be feeling shame. Pastor Fred scored before you this season.
Greg.
Disrespect. Apologize to that man. No.
Notice Rashford is now on free kick duty. I'm not sure that he on free kick duty. I think he
I
and
think
Bruno
this now between Bruno
Fernandez.
and Ericsson.
Yeah, I think they had a discussion and this because he took one and Bruno took the next one. But for me, the further away you go from the goal, Rashford is the man. Bruno is more as placement man. If you're looking for power,
Exactly.
Rashford is the man. So I guess we'll see how it goes. Bradley, final thoughts.
I just hope he keep up. I hope he start another streak, a winning streak. I want to see at least 2 goals. I'll be humble and say 2 goals. Another clean sheet because is 2 clean sheets in a row. Yeah. So the defense looking good. I want Martinez to have an immense game. Varane, Luke Shaw looking like he about his business, man. So Malacia could look up from the bench and say, yeah, this is how he's supposed to play as a left back. The whole side is United, Manchester United. I got a good vibe despite the Ronaldo fiasco, but that will last 3-4 days like any bacchanal in Trinidad. Let that blow over. Let that blow over and let us push this positivity. But Chelsea, food this weekend. Food.
I like to hear that confidence because for me personally, I always felt out of the three games, Newcastle, Spurs, and Chelsea, the hardest one was going to be Newcastle. All right,
Can I
that's my
just say this
personal
real quick,
opinion.
Judd? Can I just say
Yeah,
this
go
real quick,
ahead.
Judd? All I'm just gonna say is I don't know where Chelsea fans are gonna probably get this confidence from because the way they defend, the way their play has been a lot of times, I don't know if they're trying to play football or start their OnlyFans. Because all I've been seeing recently is this Sterling arching or Cucurella getting his hair pulled. So
Stink, Greg.
I'm just saying. But no, these encounters are very feisty at times. But I still think
Wicked,
we're
them
going
wicked,
to
them
go.
wicked. I don't know how them so wicked, why them so wicked, but I know say them wicked, them wicked, them wicked.
I had to. I'm sorry. It was
You're
just there.
wicked, Greg. You're wicked.
But some Chelsea players are similar to OnlyFans models because some of them get paid 50,000 per performance, right? So
And
All
and
it's
and,
in
Fred, and,
hard,
and
boy.
Phil here just
All
decides
you
to
have
just
it.
add the
All
fuel
you
to
have
the
is
fire. You see?
confidence Chelsea people online today, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, Chelsea has a very special place in my heart when it comes to insults.
and that happens when you have annoying fans. I always tell people,
My
I'm
neighbors are
a
Chelsea
real
fans. He's probably hearing me talking right now.
anybody who knows me know that it's a rare thing to hear anything bad come out of my mouth. But you see, Chelsea is one of the clubs I don't mind pooping on because they have real annoying supporters. That's a nice one.
Chelsea fans are just those fans who are now getting excited about things. Chelsea fans are like that girl that's now posting on Instagram because she went to Vegas. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. When everybody else has gone to Vegas and posted that years ago, she's now posting on Instagram. Whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Or that guy that says, bros over. Not going to say
Yeah,
that
that's
word
not.
on
Yeah,
here.
we don't do that here.
Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, Chelsea are now coming to the party, right? So that's why their fans are the most annoying. But I got a special place in my heart for Arsenal fans being the
Oh my
funniest.
god.
The funniest.
Oh
They
my
are
god.
getting a
I
little
love them.
overconfident,
Let
boy.
me tell you
Oh my
something.
All,
Being
I-
an
all
God.
I have to
being
say
an
to you all
Arsenal
is this.
fan.
All I have to say to you all is this. You see all them tweets and IGs and posts on TikTok, save them. All the Arsenal fans are posting stuff,
I do.
save them.
I do.
Because trust me, you're gonna want to use them back.
I'm just gonna be like rival fan tears. Please donate generously.
It's the meltdown that Arsenal fans have, boy. The
Yeah, well,
meltdown. Oh my
it's
gosh.
gonna be epic. It's gonna be
Oh my
epic, folks.
And we're
gosh.
here
People,
for it.
thank you very much for being part of the United Hour. Remember, for those on YouTube, like, subscribe, and share the thing. Get Caribbean people involved with the thing. Let people know what we're doing. Get the word out there. Remember, Red Devils, we
Giveaway.
don't die.
Giveaway.
We multiply.